Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. This morning, I woke up and this is the 11th of June. So I woke up the 11th of June, and apparently the indicted ex-president of the United States, Donald Trump, had made a campaign speech last night or yesterday, the 9th or 10th. And he was talking about the indictment and everything that the people of this country have gathered to know and have gained the evidence, access to it, to support all of this hypocrisy and lies of this man. And yet he is a primary candidate for the office of President of the United States again, representing all of the evil that he has been perpetuating. And as I thought about that this morning, I'm thinking about when he made certain statements, how he was applauded by the people of the Republican Party that was there at that time. It reminded me of Ukraine. And incidentally, they were talking about that as well this morning. The president of Ukraine reaching out to the world say we need more military support. And the outside world, many parts of it, especially NATO, is saying we support Ukraine. And we're giving them all of the armament that they need to maintain themselves. In other words, we're giving them what they need to go out on the battlefield and fight, to kill and be killed. But what the president is asking for is more support that would give them the ability to win. And giving them the ability to win, NATO and the U.S. say, well, we can't go that far, because to go that far might mean a greater catastrophe. So they just play the game. And reminds me somewhat of how democracy in the United States has worked. You've had what we have had. We know what that is without me repeating it. And yet it has been to the degree that what has been the rough edges of America, the downfall of America, the part that seems to be so ugly about America, the part that they never fixed, has continued. And as it continued, it had an effect. Now, the effect that it had is the same kind of effect that Ukraine has when it does not have the necessary armaments to really defend itself to victory. The United States and its system of government does not have or willing to utilize that force that is needed to bring the nation to a beautiful end or a wonderful outcome or victory. So it keeps going on down that same old path. And in that path, it has created Donald Trump. In that path, it has created the mega group. Now, the mega group, with all that it talks about, has no solution to the problem. If everybody in the country during the campaign, or should I say the general election of 24, voted for Donald Trump, it would be absolute chaos in the country. Absolute chaos. There would be poverty. There would be crime and violence. There would be terror and war. There would be lies and cheating and stealing and hatred and racism and bigotry. There would be a nation that's divided. In actuality, it would represent the fall of this nation. That is what would happen, because the Republicans or Donald Trump got no plans. And for them, it's just us against them. Their attitude is, and whatever comes out is okay as long as the us win against them. And if everybody came and said, I want a part of you, you would see that they got no solution. It's all about Trump. It's all about the one man and his ability to deceive the whole everlasting nation. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Sticking to Trump means choosing evil over America's righteousness. Sticking to Trump, which all of these people seem to be willing to do, it represents America's righteousness represented through its democratic process have failed. Say it again. It means that it has failed and right now is heading to a destructive end because America is unwilling to win. They keep playing the same game that created this explosion of evil like we've never seen before in our lifetime. It keeps playing that game that allowing citizens of this country who've taken an oath to protect this country, picking up guns and stuff, fighting against this country, fighting against the institutions of this country. This nation has failed, and you can see its failure because it refuses to be honest. It refuses to tell the truth, such as being expressed down on the southern borders, down where Florida exists, where they're trying to make sure that the history of this country is thwarted, that they bury it, don't allow it to be taught. Teach a new history. The things of the past didn't happen. The things that are past that didn't happen, they say, has happened today, and they are trying to hide it by repeating it back again. This is how the nation has been stepping up to this point where you got evil being championed as a choice that the American people can have over the way the democratic process has worked over our lifetime. And yet, I want you to know that there is another way. See, what America has been taught reflects in the life that we have exposure to every day. But nowhere have Americans been taught that there was a better way. Even when it comes to God, God has been shaped in the American way, in the way of the world. God has embraced money when God has no need for money. God has embraced race superiority when God has no need for that. God has God's own plan. And God's own plan calls for what the people don't know, what the people have been denied the knowledge thereof. And that knowledge is, my friends, that human beings who got their names on the resources of the earth have nothing but concocted up a system that allowed them to do so. And in so doing it, it has screwed up the way that the world was supposed to have been until we have all of this crime and all this violence, this terrible war and stuff going on. And you, the people, think that because this is what we were born into, and they have been solidifying it with lies and bullshit till we think now it is the way of life. And they even got us thinking that the way of true life, we have to die to go and experience. I want you to know that is a lie as well. You were made to experience the true life right here on this earth. You were made to make sure that everything that you ever need, that you want or desire could be experienced right here on this earth, right here. That the resources to achieve these things or to utilize these resources that are made available to you free, not from the way the people have stolen and trying to sell it to you, but was made free. It came here with the earth. It came here with the mountains. It came here with the valleys, the trees, the oceans. It came here with that. God's for the human race and all that lives that have a need thereof. Magnificent, beautiful, wonderful. And that power made you so that all that you would need, even to survive, made it coming amongst you, like food and clothing and shelter and education, healthcare, transportation, infrastructure, and all of the things that you can imagine that you put your hands to as human beings and create. And all of you engaged in that process because all of you are here to provide input. You have careers. And in those careers, you create everything that you need. And it goes to the reservoir of goods and services in such an abundance that everyone can access from it. Every last one of you, not just in America, but on earth. can access from what you have collectively built to meet your needs, your wants, and your desires so that you can live your dreams. And it doesn't cost you a thing because the careers that you have gives you your joy and your happiness. And all of this, my friends, because you've said that these systems of government are not representative of meeting your needs. The gods that you've been taught about in the churches have not been provided to satisfy your needs. And you, my friends, have recognized that if any good is supposed to happen amongst you, why should you look for it coming from someplace else when you are not willing to give it yourselves? So you allow the goodness that you perceive as being the way of God to be expressed in the things that you do in this life so people can see it. And if they are falling short of the goodness of love that they think they have, because they can see a greater love in you, they can be drawn to grow and be greater lovers as we change this hell that we're living in. And once we know the truth about what life truly is, then we can see this world, this earth as hell. Not that all of the wonderful things that have been created are something that's problematic. No, it's our thinking. It's our programming. These things were made to facilitate the heaven that we all talk about. That's what it's for. But we got the wrong mindset. We got the mindset of dog eat dog, competition, who's the best, who's superior, who got the most, who deserves the most. That's what we've been taught. But with God's love, the true God says that every last one of you got to say, I'm satisfied. Think about 8 billion people sitting there with their arms down saying, I'm satisfied with life. Goodness gracious. Can you imagine? 8 billion people sitting around saying, I'm satisfied with life. That means they are doing what they want to do. They are not being subservient to anyone. They are being superior to themselves by being who they are. And who they are is what they were made to be. And it's intertwined like these fingers. And it's working. And it's good for all of us. That's what this campaign is about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what basic human rights is all about. I was wondering, let me see if there's anything I'm missing here. America Today, yes. America Today is a statement of America's progress and America's failure. And this system, as I conclude, has failed. The people have failed. The system has failed the people have failed the system. And you can expect nothing but failure from your politicians, depending upon where you're trying to go. It indicates that it is time for change. It is time for change. Being at the status quo is where that evil that is seemingly rising up above the heavens was founded right here. And you can bet your last money, staying the course is going to do nothing but cause it to grow and grow and grow. So what we're saying is that what America should have done, what the world should have done a long time ago, was to do the right thing. To do the right thing. And to do that means to do that which works for all of the people. They didn't do it, but it's time that they do it. It is the only thing that can save us from this hell, this path that we're on. The only thing that can save us from the path of this hell that we're on is not fighting Donald Trump. It's not fighting Republicans. It's not fighting Democrats. It's fighting evil by doing the right thing. And the right thing is to make sure that every last one of us are satisfied. Otherwise, you might be the one that's left out. Can't take that chance. Straighten up and let's do it right. Thank you so very much for listening.